Well, hey Aquarians, we are looking at your blind spot today. We're going to pull a card to see what kind of situation we're talking about and then ask the tarot some questions about your blind spot and then we will clarify. So let's see, what is your situation, Aquarius? Oh, there is some grief here. 5 of Cups, card of grief. It's a passageway. Underlying that, Temperance, the alchemizing of your emotions, divinely supported. We have the Empress here as well. The Earth herself. This feels like your ability to be abundant, to be the queen of your world, the sovereign of your life. We have also, one last card, inner child work, soulmate connection, undefended love, the 6 of Cups here. What I see here is you are processing from the position of the Empress, like you're in a good place, Aquarius, to do the work of temperance, do the inner child work of the 6 of Cups. And it will require you to go through some painful feelings, like that passageway represented by a 5 in the tarot. Which means, by passageway, what we mean is you begin focusing on your losses, and you end seeing that these losses have transformed you, perhaps, into this Empress, and that you are able, through doing this inner child work, to, or some kind of work on your emotional ideals around love, undefended love, the kind of love that you were able to have as a kid, but then over your life gets damaged and dented, and you get scars on your heart. And so the ideal is to remember, before you ever got hurt, how to love. And you can do that because you're an Empress, right? You are the Queen of Queens. So, well, that's what I see you doing in this situation. Let's see what the tarot wants to add to this. Okay. So, we're going to ask 5 questions. And we're going to get at what your blind spot is in this situation. Maybe it will help you with this work. It does require you to feel some painful feelings, this work. So let's see here. The first question that we have for Aquarius. Well, how do you see yourself at this moment here? You're seeing yourself in a certain way. You prefer to see yourself this way. Wow, we see you as the world. You do see yourself as having achieved maturity. The world is an ending. It's like you got here, right? You know, you've reached maturity. You've finished a major life cycle. It may be that you're ready to begin a new one, but you see yourself having really, and that's not necessarily untrue. It's just there's more here to see. So if you're an Aquarian who is mature, has been through something, and feels like you're just kind of tying up the loose ends and you're basically ready to move on to something new, but you've achieved something here. Okay, so what are you not seeing? What's your blind spot? Judgment. So this is the card before the world. So what this says is, like, you're not quite where you think you are. There's still more work to do. And in Judgment, what you get is you're telling the universe, I've done everything, I've done it right, and now it's time for me to move on to the next level, right? You think you're ready to move on. That's why you see yourself as the world. You're a little bit behind that, right? There's something else that you need to do first, right? So before you go through this portal, you have to go through this door. That's it. So you're not quite done. You're close though. You just have one more thing to do. So why don't you see this here? Now, 9 of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is beautiful. This is the Empress in waiting, right? So if we want you, when you actually get where you think you are, you get to the Empress, right? So the Nine of Pentacles is talked about as the Empress in waiting. You have a beautiful home. You are the queen of your world. You have made all your money. The Empress in waiting does not listen to other people. She looks to her own wisdom, her own counsel, right? So this is why you're not seeing, you think you're done, but you're not. And it's just because you're not listening to other people. And there's lots of evidence that you've done it. You're there, right? Because you could look around you at your beautiful home and your beautiful life, and you can say, I've created this. I'm ready for the next thing. But you're not quite ready for it. So why should you try to see this? The Emperor. This is the card of Aries. If you're the Empress, and then here's your Emperor showing up. So this would be a good reason for you to do this one last thing. Which looks like some work on your past, on your history. The Emperor is also about being the leader of your own life, the agent, the hero of your own life. So we need to clarify that, like what it means here. The Emperor gives structure to life. So if you have like this raw passion, then which is like the Empress, she's a 3, and then the Emperor is card 4. So if we don't want to worry about like sexism, right, because he's better than her, no, she's the raw abundance of earth. He is the one that has like the structure and the plan. So if you do this work, you can take that Empress in waiting, that raw creative energy that you have in and of yourself, and this work will give you structure, which will get you into further through the major arcana. But basically what you're doing is you have a vision and you're making it real. And so you got all the beautiful raw material, and now you're going to structure that. So that's what the Emperor can mean. We'll clarify. So how do you incorporate this new information in, oh, fantastic. It's the Sun. We are in Leo season. This is a card of Leo. But the Sun is about joy, happiness, and it's about being your authentic self here. So yes, going through this grief, this difficult passageway, which is your situation, which to me what it looks like is, in order to wrap this cycle, you must process some grief. And it feels like old grief because the 6 of Cups points to inner child work, okay? The Sun always makes me think of a child because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's a naked baby on a horse. So I think of authenticity, your true self, who you were born to be in the Sun here. But it's absolute wish fulfillment, being true to yourself, right? So this isn't going to feel unnatural, Aquarius. This is going to feel like coming into yourself, and that's what you want. And so you just need a little bit more work here. So underlying couple cards, there is in this work another 5 of Pentacles. So a part of this is a feeling of being abandoned, neglected, fear about being impoverished. But in fact, again, 5, it's a passageway. So you see, oh, I feel this way, and then you turn and you look, and there's a door, and you can walk through it, and you can enter. This idea that you are outside is an illusion. And then we get the Chariot, which is momentum. It's a very joyful progress forward. So like I can feel like you think you're in the world and you push through this work, and then poof, you're this Chariot. So you go through this dark passageway, and then on the other side, yay, you get free. Okay? All right. So let's clarify this, Aquarius. Whew, just taking a breath here. I've been doing tarot for hours, it feels like. All right, I'm trying to get all my tarot readings up because I have guests coming, and I know I'm gonna get behind again, and I don't want to. You guys need to see your blind spot before I go on vacation, right? Okay, so here's where you see yourself, the world. And like this is a very abstract deck, so this, if you think about, this is how you see yourself, and this is how others see you, your blind spot. Yeah. That, to me, that feeling of freedom, of being complete, of like pushing through the portal here, that's what I see with this imagery. Okay, let's clarify that. The world, it just means you're done. You're finished. You're ready for the next thing. So there's a Three of Cups. Friendship, reconciliation, emotional. Then there's some conflict, competition, anarchy, creative chaos, and a new beginning. New 3D beginning, Pentacle. So you feel like you've completed like something it felt like this, like that's what it felt like, kind of crazy, kind of chaotic, and you're celebrating that, right? You celebrated whatever that was, you finished it, right? And yeah, and you're ready for the new beginning. That's it. You just see you're done. You finished something. It was kind of crazy, and you celebrated it. What I think is you haven't actually processed so that it feels like chaos and competition and craziness, right? So that you just have a little bit more work to do before you are where you want to be, before you can actually get that Ace of Pentacles and start the next thing. But let's see. This is your blind spot, Judgment. There's Victory. Comes after the 5. It's much more orderly. Everyone recognizes you. Your idea has prevailed. King of Cups, emotional maturity. This guy doesn't talk about his feelings very much. He's very private. And, uh-oh, there it is. There's something missing. 8 of Cups, an emotional discontent. You have one last journey. You got to get that 9th cup. So you feel that you've been victorious. You're kind of sitting there with your, feeling it. You're feeling it. But then when you sit there and you really know how you feel, if you're honest, there's something missing, okay? And so there's one more adventure before you finish this journey. Okay. So why you don't see it? Lots of evidence. You're there. You've made it. So let's see. 9 of Pentacles. Why you don't see it? Yep, there's 6 of Pentacles. This is you. You've made a fortune, right? You have enough to give away to others. Uh-oh, we got to get you here with the Hangman. You need to see that differently. You're a little stuck because you need a new perspective, right, on what this is. This is your ideal of happiness. You need to look at that. It's family, happiness, emotional content. It's a cup cycle. This needs to be revised. You need the Hanged Man is looking at that. So you're good in the practical, in the pentacles, but there's this other piece that you need to add, which is the emotional. Okay, so let's see here. Why should I? Give you a little structure. Let's see what that is. I feel like it's your ideal of the family that you need to analyze, and the way to do that is Six of Cups, some inner child work, and really facing these fives, right? So Aquarius, if you're the kind of person that tends to like kind of be like, oh, things are fine, I don't want to look at that. This is for you, right? Because when you get to Judgment, which is almost done, and you sit there like this King of Cups and you really look at your feelings, you're going to find out there's still a feeling that something is missing. That feeling of lack, the Five of Pentacles, grief, the Five of Cups, that feeling of, you need to address that, right? And the way to address that here is not to look at wealth and abundance and earthy things. You've made your fortune, right? That's why you're the Empress in waiting. What you need to look at is your emotional ideal is this, and you need to revise this ideal. So let's see here. How does the Emperor, this is why I should try to see it, because you'll get some structure. Oh, the Devil. Yeah, you definitely need to look at this. This is self-defeating thoughts. There's your kind of living by your lower vibrations. It's addiction, it's codependence. So if you have inner child work to do, like you have some kind of unexamined trauma in your history, in your childhood or something like that, it'll get you. It'll sabotage your happiness. So that's why. Yep, and there's Judgment again, right? It just says the devil's going to keep you from ascending here. And then you need to change. If you want something different, you need to do something different, right? The Wheel of Fortune is, I'm sorry, I don't use upside down cards or cards in reverse. So Wheel of Fortune. So if you want something to change, like if you want a different story for yourself, you have to deal with this devil, right? And that's what this guy will help you do. He will help give you some structure so that you can truly claim, I did it right, I deserve to ascend, I'm done with this. Before you can move on, you need to do this work. Okay, so the Sun, this is how you incorporate this. You get to be happy, joyous, free, your true self. Either you're getting sober, you're getting over codependence, you're doing inner child work. There's a whole set of thoughts in your mind that will sabotage you, okay? And leave you sad and leave you left out of your joy. So there's your thoughts. There's you changing your mind, the Six of Swords. What else? The Fools. There you are, starting your new journey. That's what comes after the World. And it is a new love. Beautiful. No wonder it's happy. Yeah, so the trick here is that you have some stories, the Six of Swords. You may notice the water is choppy. He's using a wand, the willpower to move from choppy waters to smoother waters. These are emotional. It's emotional peace that comes when you move your mind. The Devil. That's what you need to move out of. Whatever that is. What is that? It's the thoughts that say negative things that undermine. It's addiction, codependence. Like, I'm always dealing with these things, right? And I've met people who haven't dealt with that, and they are not qualified for love, right? They're not qualified for relationships until they deal with that. This says there's this new love. This is about being happy and being yourself. To be that, to start on your new, beautiful journey, unburdened, carrying that white flower that represents undefended love. And we see it in this deck, in the Six of Cups, right? To remember, how did I bring my heart forward undefended? You know, your mind is the problem. So to remember that, you need to address your thoughts. That's your element, air, the mind, right? You have some work to do. before you can ascend, before your fortune will change. And so you need some kind of structure. And there is a beautiful Ace of Cups coming in for you. And let me see. Wow, bunch of stuff under here. We'll share it all. Okay, so you need to see the truth, air, the mind, Ace of Swords. Then you need to go forward with that truth. You need to take action on that truth. You're going to have to work through some emotional confusion, projections, fantasies. This, I think, is why you need to revise your 10 of Cups, your emotional ideal of what this completion of a cup cycle is. Like, what do you want that you walk away from this? What's missing, right? When you sit down and you're quiet and you face the truth, that Ace of Swords, and you ride towards it, you have to ride through like a hero through all these illusions that are keeping you from. And so one of the illusions is keeping you, these illusions, these cups. You can't pick out what is the correct vision of. To get this, I have to sort out my projections, my fantasies, my illusions. So I have to choose a better vision for the 10 of Cups. There it is. When I do that, my happiness, my authenticity, remember the baby on the white horse I mentioned. This is you letting your freak flag fly, whatever that means. What stands in your way? We've seen it before. A 5 of Pentacles. And this is a 4 of Cups. This is, oh, that never worked out. There's that Ace of Cups. If I'm distracted by my negativity, by my history, unexamined, of feeling left out, and my fear of poverty, my emotional disappointments, I'm going to ignore that Ace of Cups. And we know it's right here. It's coming in once you integrate this. You have to heal this 5 of Pentacles, this 4 and 5 of Cups here. You must look at your past, and you must remember how did I feel? How did I love when I was a child? So that's one more step before you finish with this. You have to look back and make sense of this chaos, right? I understand wanting to move on from that and just celebrate it and take up this new opportunity. But the cards are saying if you do that, this guy's going to get you. So you got to change, you got to finish. Or else you'll get another chance, but it won't be the one you're involved in now. So does that make sense? Don't sabotage by not looking. Okay. All right, Aquarius, good luck. Let me know.